Okay, hello everybody. Just wanted to show the swap that I was working on for Pocket Letters USA. It's called, with Anna Rodriguez, it's called a flat mail swap. So we wanted to keep things flat so that they could get mailed out with like just regular stamps, like between $1.50 and $2. Just so they don't have to get sent as packages. So, you know, make it a little bit more affordable for everybody. So since they were inexpensive, quick and easy to make, I decided to ask for 2 partners this time. And I really enjoyed making these. These were a lot of fun. I did show the first one I made. I shot a video and uploaded it. I'm not sending that one out. And the only reason is because your first one's never your best when you're just trying something out. So I like to work out the kinks on the first one, and I decided to then do the real ones. So my partners were Gina and Sandra. So I just want to show what I did here. I did decide to decorate the envelopes. I know a lot of people kind of get on this decorating the envelope thing, so I felt I needed to up my game a little bit. So I decided to decorate the envelope simply. I didn't go too crazy. I really just busted out some stamps and some black ink and actually 2 dies, and that was it. So I usually do print my addresses out. Obviously I'm covering addresses. I don't want to show everybody's business. So, but I did use this like tattered edge die cut. It just looks like this all the way around. It's square, or rectangle I should say. So they're fun. I really like them. I think they're really cute. It really made the address pop. And then I just used some simple stamps. I believe the Timeless Treasures, the Clock Hand, and the Sun were part of a Tim Holtz stamp set. And this one's just a cheap internet stamp, but it was pretty cool. I do like that one quite a bit. So I did that one for Gina. And I also like to make it kind of match, or at least go with what's on the inside of the swap. So the second one I did is for Sandra. Oh, let me just make sure I'm on screen here. For Sandra. And I did butterflies and a fairy and some stars stamp. Very simple. Did use that tattered edge again. Really liked that. Just inexpensive stickers and some stamps and some black ink. Nothing too crazy, but I thought it would still be a nice presentation. Especially on these manila envelopes. I think that the black ink just really stands out nice on that. So, okay, the only thing I want to do, I do want to make a slight adjustment to my camera here. It's a bit high. And I can't see the screen, and I like to check where I'm at. Okay, so the one I did for Gina, let me just put Sandra's aside, and I'll do that one second. So this was one of the second one I should say I made. The first one I'm not sending out. Second one I made. So let me pull this out of here. So this is what I made. I think it came out, I know this is gold. Doily is really reflecting, so I'm going to try to cover that. But I love these Tim Holtz vintage people. I forget I think it is actually called Vintage People. And they're very like 1930s kind of Depression era. I really, really enjoy these. And I really like that there's all different types of people. Men, women, kids, couples. There's even a dog. Like a Petey from Little Rascals. Different races of people. I really, really do enjoy them. It's a nice assortment. And these are also the Tim Holtz. They're die cuts, but I forget exactly what they're called. But they're like ephemera. And it's just some nice vintagey flowers. And this like, it's almost like vintage advertising, I think, is what those actually are. So what I did with mine was, I know I saw a lot of the videos online. They were just an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, 8.5 this way, 11 this way, so that you fold over into thirds. Makes total sense. And then they just glue down the seam and down the bottom, but I didn't want to do that. I am my own, had to go my own way. So I used some very thin Velcro dots. I got them from Amazon. I know the one side's clear, so you probably really can't see those, and then the other side is just these fluffy white side, but they're very, very thin, so I really do like those. So what I decided to put in the pockets, you got to keep everything flat. That's the challenge. So I have these vintage photo booth, which are also Tim Holtz. They just look like those. They take vintage pictures and make them look like they came out of the photo booth machines, which are kind of cool. That you would see at the carnivals or the boardwalks of several places. And what I really like about these, again, I tried to pick out ones that had, men, women, kids, teenagers, a baby, a real young child, different races of people, different age groups. Really, really enjoyed these. I like these. I use these a lot on projects. So the next thing I decided to do was a gift tag, because that was something I thought that could be flat. And I really, really like this vintage image. It's, I know it's an Indian goddess. I couldn't tell you which one. I believe she is like the goddess of luck and prosperity. I could be wrong on that. If I'm wrong, you can let me know. But I thought that's what I read. But I did use this little Tim Holtz sticker. I hope you can see it. I know my camera's probably not going to focus on it. But it says Dreams of Beauty. So I really, really like that. And I just used some music paper. My mom actually got it's a vintage music book. She got it at a flea market, I think. And, she had a little fun haggling with the guy a little bit. And we use it for die cutting stuff. And it just makes a nice background on stuff. I just use a little ink to ink the edges of both layers before I put it together. Just gave it that more vintagey look. But has a nice size tag on the back to write a sentiment, or at least put names and sentiments on there, which is kind of cool. And then I've been kind of obsessed with these paper dolls lately. I know I just kind of chucked these in the bag. I'm gonna probably re-stack these, but there's this cute little girl. She has a couple outfits with hats that match. And the only thing I did really do, other than because I did do some fussy cutting, which I think my fussy cutting is pretty good, so I'm not embarrassed to send out fussy cut stuff. I know some people are like, oh, I don't like when people send me fussy cut things, but I think my fussy cutting is okay. I think it's acceptable, and I don't know if you would even really know that it was hand cut. Real quick, I can tell where my fussy cutting skill, I guess, at this point comes from. When I was in high school, I don't remember if it was junior or senior year, it might have been senior year. I took an art class that we had to. It was actually a really cool project. It was a collage project, but it wasn't like go into Team Beat and cut out pictures of Jonathan Taylor Thomas in heart shapes. No. Which is what most of the people in the class did, and did not do well on that project. What we were supposed to do was actually go through. The teacher had hundreds and hundreds. It was in a big stack and in this big pile in the corner of the room. But they were like National Geographics, Nature magazines, things like that. And we were supposed to go through these magazines and cut out. We were supposed to create a new species of animal. So you had to go through these magazines, and you would cut out. Let's just say you'd cut out the head of a lion, the body of a horse, the tail of a fox, the legs of a wolf or a dog or something, and then the trunk of an elephant to put on the front of the tiger's face, or the lion's face. But you had to really fussy cut it out, and there weren't defined edges, and you had busy backgrounds, and you're in there with teeny tiny sharp scissors and X-Acto knives, and you're cutting out thin magazine paper, so you don't want to rip it, but you had to get the scaling right, because you wanted it to really look like a new species, not just pictures cut out of a magazine and glued down onto a canvas, or I think we used canvas. But it was a really cool project, and I think from having to do that project was really kind of a cool way to learn to fussy cut. That was definitely, if you want to get good at it, that's a challenge for you right there. But, well, first of all, just finding National Geographic magazines would probably cost you a small fortune. But we won't even get into that. But I did stickle just some little accents, like the bows or the flowers, her sash, just things like that, like the bow in her hair, just for a little accent, nothing crazy. Now, I did leave the little tabs that can be folded over to put the clothes on her, so you could do that if you wanted to. But what I was thinking is, if I'm going to use them on a project for something, I would probably clip those little tabs off And I probably would use like a dimensional and pop her clothes up a little bit. I think that would be kind of interesting. And it would just add dimension, which I thought would be kind of cool. Especially the hat might be kind of cool like that. The hats, I should say, 'cause each outfit has a hat that matches. I did find those on Pinterest, but I do try to look up things that are free printables that don't have copyright. You know, I don't want to be stealing people's art. That's kind of messed up. It's a messed up thing to do. So I try to always look for things that aren't copyrighted and that are free printables. I don't want to steal people's stuff. That's not nice. So yep, so that just goes back down. I tried to layer it a little bit. So then on the back, what I did was I just cut some scraps that I had from making the rest of this. And I decided to use, oh, that's the other thing I got to show. Don't let me forget. I just cut some triangles. I did a washi tape sample, which because it's hanging from the top, I did do a paper clip. We'll see how the mailman likes that. But I just did some washi tape samples. I like this vintagey washi, so I have quite a bit of it. And I like to give at least 2 feet of the washi so that it can be used either on, you know, you have enough to do at least one project, if not several. So you don't run out right away. I always try to give a little bit extra on that. Basically my cutting mat is 24 inches wide, so I just stretch it and then just start wrapping it. Now I do that trick that I think I've talked about before with just clear box tape to cover it so that it can stick on there instead of pulling out my laminator. I don't know, just pulling the thing out, letting it heat up. I feel like it takes forever to heat up. I'm impatient. Then you use it to do 2 things. I use it for 3 seconds, and then I gotta wait for it to cool down before I can put it back away. Yeah, I ain't got time for that. So I just use the tape method, and I also did the tape method on the bookmark that I decided to make. This is one of those Tim Holtz photo booth. I just cut it out so it would fit on there, and use some of this Tim Holtz ephemera. They're just die cut flowers. They have them in different sizes. I really love that stuff that he comes out with. And just punched a hole, did a little string, little twiny type string. Whoop, throwing it on the floor. Throwing it on the floor. So that's how I just like to do that. The back I just left simple. I just inked all the edges. I like inking edges. It adds a little dimension without adding bulk, which is really what this project is all about. Oh, the other thing I wanted to show that I said don't let me forget. So I bought this really cool washi tape. Now on the inside, I'll actually probably show it on the inside. I had a minor brain fart. And I forgot how to use a ruler apparently. And I cut this mat that was going in the center about 1/2 inch or so too small. So I found this really cool washi tape on Amazon that I had. I mean, I didn't purchase it just for this, but it looks like burnt edges of the paper. So that's how I covered up those bright white. And I put it all the way to the bottom before I put these on, because I didn't want to cut another piece of paper. But I really liked how that actually looked. So I was really quite impressed with those, with that washi tape. I thought it was really, really cool stuff. And so, and they have it in like they have like 2 different colors. Like this is the brown, they have a black, but then there's a brown that's thinner and a black that's thinner. So that was pretty cool. Really enjoyed that washi. So let me just get this stuff back together, and then I'll show the next one. Man, we are already almost 14 minutes in. Jeez. Rambly. And the other thing I might do with this is I might just use like a little glue dot or something just to hold it up there. And oh, I used my border punch, this lacy border punch, just to add a little decorative top to my pockets. Okay, stop rambling on. Okay, the next one I did was for Sandra. This is a girl after my own heart. She informed me that she likes purple and butterflies, and that's what I like too. I'm a purple, my favorite color is purple. I buy everything purple. Kind of the running joke with my niece and nephew. Now I'm the adult, they're the children. And the running joke was, whenever there's like a multi-pack of something, and we're going to break it up and everybody's going to get one, I have permanent dibs on the purple one. And my niece is so funny. I mean, she's 19 now, but even when she was like younger, if there was a multi-pack of something, she would always pull the purple one out and be like, this one's Aunt Lindsay's. She knew I had permanent dibs on anything that was purple. So anyway, silly little story. So this one I used this really cute purple, what is he, a unicorn. He's, you know, the horse with the thing. And all I really did for this was I used some inexpensive star stickers that I had that I liked. They're hologram. And these Dollar Tree butterfly stickers, I bought them out a few months ago. I have not seen them since, in my Dollar Tree at least. And I have them in a few different colors. There was like a blue pack, then there was like the orangey, like the monarchy type, and then there was like kind of like a brownishy yellowy pack, which wasn't my favorite, but I bought them anyway because they had them. So I purchased them. But these are cool because the top layer is just really thin acetate. So it adds dimension when it's out of the package, but when it goes into the envelope, it's just going to sit flat and it doesn't add any bulk. But I thought that was kind of a cool little thing. So actually, I'll just show the back real quick. So I did give a sample of those because I thought those were really cool. And then I did these butterfly die cuts, which are pretty cool. I cut out, they're 2 layers. Underneath is, really it's like the purpley scrap that I had from cutting different things out. So that's the bottom layer, and then the top I used vellum, and I only glued it down the center of like the body so that they could be fluffed up like these. So they can just be fluffed up. So I thought that was kind of a cool idea. And then on the back here it does say sparkle wherever you are. Sparkle wherever you go is what it is actually. But maybe I'll put something underneath there just to add to finish the statement, since the statement ended up around the corner. It's okay though. And I just used some pretty silver and white washi tape. I think it says throw kindness around like confetti, I think is what that says. So I just thought that was a cute way to just attach it, not adding a ton of bulk. Oh, sorry, I keep bumping the camera. So I just wanted to stand up and just make sure it's in somewhat focus. It's so humid right now that, I think my camera lens is just like, nope, too much moisture. So anyway, I did another bookmark, but I just kept it real simple, but I really like these star stickers. Kept it purple, used the purple ink, which is another Tim Holtz ink. Something violet. Vicious violet? No, that's not right. Wild violet? I don't know, something like that. Vibrant violet? Something like that. It's a cool color, I really like it. It's a nice opaque too. And I also did a gift tag, and I used that cool hologram stickers. I used this foil black star paper, galaxy paper maybe on the back, some scrap of the purple that I had, and a cool fairy stamp. Kind of went with stamps this time around. Now I also did the girls again, the paper dolls. The only thing is, again, brain farts. I didn't stickle any of the accent pieces, so I'm going to take those out and stickle those tonight before I mail out tomorrow, because I just think it really makes her pop. It really looks good on there. And I did some purple and vintagey washi tape sample and butterfly samples that I had. Oh, let me try to... Come on, phone. You know you want to focus. I know there's a lot of reflection, so it's not liking it. But I just thought that was a cool washi tape sample. Again, I did 2 feet of each. I like to give a good amount on that. But yeah, and I just used that same Velcro, real thin. It's by Velcro. It's Velcro brand. I think I got 75 pairs for about $6. I do love my Amazon. I don't mind shopping on Amazon so much because I know everybody's like, oh, but you can probably get it a little cheaper at, you know, different, with the coupons. I get that. But I also received the cashback bonus from my credit cards. So, you know, I am getting something out of every purchase. So I'm not really complaining about, you know, if I can't find something in the store and I have to buy it off of Amazon. And yes, I'm probably going to pay a few extra more than if I could use a coupon. But also a lot of times I click on things, and then if I'm looking at it, I'll get an email like every day like, oh, we noticed you were interested in this and this type, that type of stuff. Maybe not that specific item, but that type of item has gone on sale. or they're like running a special. So they'll send me an email like every day, and I look forward to that email because I've gotten a lot of Tim Holtz stuff that way. Because I'm always clicking on Tim Holtz stuff, they always seem to send me that email like, oh, this Tim Holtz stuff is on sale right now, or on special, or reduced price, or whatever they call it. So I usually end up getting suckered into that. They know who to send it to. They're like, oh yeah, she'll do it, she'll buy it. So I do that a lot. Plus I get my cashback bonus, and that's how I get my Lowe's gift cards. So can't really complain. But yeah, that was kind of it. I just want to put those back together. I do have to go back in there and stickle, but I think this one is buttoned up and ready to go. I'm going to give it one more once over to make sure I didn't forget anything. Probably should write a little handwritten letter. Almost did forget about that. I don't know why. I never know what to write in those things, so it's usually short and sweet. But I know a lot of people have said, like, in the different groups and different swaps, that's like, it's like the first thing they go for is the little personal note, that they really enjoy the personal note. So I gotta step up my game on that too. Man, I got some games I need to be stepping up on. But the personal note, I try to put a little thought into it, but I just never know what to say. You don't really, I mean, especially if you never swapped with them before, you don't know people, you don't know their situations. So, I just always try to be positive, explain what I did, hope they enjoy it, that kind of thing. That's why I want to step up my goodie game a little bit in other swaps. This swap isn't a goodie swap. You're just not going to send goodies, really. I mean, the swap kind of is a goodie, but has goodies in it, but it's not, you don't really send extras because the whole point is to keep it light and flat, and so you can just mail it. So, but hopefully I'll get paired with these people again, with these ladies, because so far they've both been fantastic just from the little bit of messaging that we've done back and forth. So I would like to actually swap with them again at some point. Maybe we can do a private swap or something. But yeah, so I just wanted to show that, you guys. Sorry for rambling yet again. Oh, and by the way, this is actually the second time I've shot this video, because the first time, again, brain fart day. And I had coffee this time before I shot the video. So, yeah, I don't know what it is. Well, I am on vacation next week from work, so maybe I'll clear out some of the cobwebs out of my head, actually get a good night's sleep and not be stressed about that place, and be able to focus. And I actually, because I am off, I really kind of want to do like a big project. But what would a big project be? Like, I almost want to like combine projects. I'm not good at like creating my own like method of something. So I'm really gonna have to get on YouTube, see what's out there, and see what I can combine to try to like combine two things to make a like something awesomeness, some big awesomeness. But I do like making like these boxes and things, but what a nightmare to ship, and you can't use envelopes. I gotta get boxes to ship. I don't mind spending the money on the shipping, that's not the issue. It's more of the box. Gotta find a box that'll work. That's not too big, but I don't want it to get squished, and then I always feel like I send too much packaging if I don't have the right box, and then am I cluttering up somebody else's house with the packaging, and that's not fair either, because I don't want people doing that to me. So yeah, I don't know, I gotta try to stick with books and flat things. I haven't made any of my journals in a while, my handmade books that I was making. That was actually one of my first videos that's on here, so if you want to check out the Star Wars book I made that by hand, and I mean sewing the pages together, doing like legitimate book binding. Excuse me. There's a great video. I'm gonna have to link that to that video. I should go in there and do that, because this girl had a great video for it, and I think she just had music playing in the background. I don't even think like she was explaining it, but it was just such a good video that I jumped right on it, and have not had a problem doing it since watching that video, and I really love making them. But yeah, I gotta get back on my books. I like making those. I made myself a nice journal, which I try to, excuse me, hiccups again. I try to write in my journal a couple times a week, but it's like a cool journal because I made it myself, and then I made I'll shoot a video of it, because it is pretty cool. I know I've taken pictures of it, but I took a cigar box and decorated the cigar box, and the journal fits in there nice with a pen. It is pretty cool. Like, I like it. It's customized for me. Kind of has a macabre theme to it. I found this really cool, like, skeleton. It's like a cameo, but, like, the girl in the middle is, the silhouette is a skeleton. And I kind of like that. That's kind of my speed. I kind of like that macabre-ish. Let's not get too crazy. Don't start Googling macabre stuff on Google, because it goes to some dark places. So I don't recommend checking it out. So I don't want to say I'm totally macabre, but I like that just like a toe in the water, little toe in the water of the macabre. So, but not anything too crazy. So anyway, enough rambling. Thank you for watching. Thanks for checking it out. And I really hope they enjoy the swap. I'm not going to post the video until after they receive it, because I want them to be surprised. I don't want them to see the video and then get the swap. I like being surprised when I open it. That's one of the fun parts of swapping. So thank you guys. Have a good night. I am done rambling.